What's happening? What's happening, everybody out there in internet land? How you doing today? It's your boy Greg Napier coming to you live from my home office here in the wonderful state of Ohio, the city of Columbus. And I'm not sure where you're chiming in from, but if you're chiming in from anywhere close to me, let me know that, or just let me know where you're chiming in from, period. And I'll be sure to give you a shout out because, hey, we're on what's called the World Wide Web. So you could be coming in from anywhere. And this might be your first time, second time, third time. I don't know what time it is. Share this out with your friends, your family, your co-workers, anyone that you think may be able to get some value from this information, because what I'm going to share with you on this Friday afternoon is something was that I didn't even have a clue what was happening when I first started 14 or 15 years ago. I think it was like 2010 when I came online. I had retired from the Postal Service in 2008, and I had a pretty decent real estate business. I was an investor. Yeah, I was buying and flipping homes. I did that from 1996. Yeah, from 1996 to 2006. So I made a little money. I made a lot of money, actually, a lot. But the real estate market started taking a turn for the worse, and I had to start dumping properties and getting rid of a lot of properties. So I stopped buying properties. I mean, when I say I was buying them, fixing them, and flipping them. I was buying them and fixing them and renting them. And I started my business in the city of Pittsburgh, where we were living, and I had no idea what was going on in the city of Pittsburgh. I had to learn all of Pittsburgh on my own. I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee, but my mom moved us to Ohio in 1970. So Columbus was always the home base. And then I moved around from different places. I lived in California for a minute, and I was in the military for a minute. I'm sharing all these things to tell you, give you a little backdrop of how important it is that you know a little bit about the person that you're dealing with, especially out here on the internet. And my title is The Importance of Knowing Your Numbers in Business. But actually, you should know your numbers, period, in your life. And if you don't, you're going to get taken for a ride. And I'm talking from personal experience because I had no idea what was going on when I was doing what I was doing in the real estate game. I'm gonna go over here and share this to a couple of places. I got it shared over in a couple of social media spots. But um, when I first started, I had no idea. I knew that I played with the real estate thing on paper before I came out and did it on with real money. I played with play money until I got comfortable enough to deal with real money. And it's sort of like what people are doing right now with the trading. They got trading outlets where you can go in and play with it with play money until you get comfortable to play with it and participate with it with real money. So when I was doing the real estate game, I had a hard money lender. If you don't know what a hard money lender is, it's an institution that will loan you money to be able to buy distressed properties or any type of properties, and they got a serious percentage money on theirs. And so the company I was getting my money from was out of Connecticut, and they were loaning me 70% loan to value. Meaning, if it would appraise at $100,000, they would loan me 70% of that. So I had to buy it, get it fixed up, all within that parameters of that money. And and if I didn't do it within those parameters of that money, guess what? I had to come out of my pocket with the money to be able to finish the product. So when I say you have to know your numbers in the real estate game, you definitely had to know your numbers when it came to buying the properties. My first property I bought, and I'll just give you a basic background on that. I bought that property for about $15,000. I put 20 in it. So I got 20, 30, I got $35,000 in this property. I find out the property before I even bought it. I found out the property was worth about 80,000. So I was able to get it fixed up for the 20, based off of my credit being where my credit was. I was able to refinance it, pull the money from the refinance, and give the hard money lender his money back, and then be able to rent that property. And my mortgage payment on that was about a little over $400. Just for even numbers, I just tell you like this, about $400. I rented that place for $650, so I had a positive cash flow of $250. Now I thought I didn't arrive. That was me not knowing anything about what I was doing. And I know you're probably looking at this live saying, "Man, in the description it ain't talking about no real estate. It's talking about affiliate marketing and business." But this is business. This is knowing your numbers. You have to know your numbers, period, in everything you do. Because when you know your numbers, then you know how to approach and assess the situation in what you're doing. If you don't know your numbers, you're gonna get stuck. And if I didn't know my numbers when I was doing what I was doing for those years, I would have got eaten alive, literally. Because you can go buy a property that looks real good. Back in the day, you could buy them for pennies on a dollar for sure. You could buy it for $10,000, $15,000, $5,000. I bought a 6-unit apartment building for $60,000. Yeah, but it needed about 60 grand in work, but I bought it anyway. And I made out good on that. Yes. Now it was a little dicey at first, because I was like, man, this apartment building, I'm used to dealing in a single family home. So I really went outside my comfort zone a little bit. That required me to do a lot of research and a lot of work, because I got to get contractors in there, and I had to have 2 different contractors on that. And mind you, I'm still working my full-time job for the Postal Service the whole time. The whole time I'm doing the real estate game from 97. It was 97. Well, no, 98. It was 98. I'm sorry, because we went to Pittsburgh in 97. It was 98 to 2006. Yeah, it was 2006, because we came back to Columbus in 2003. I continued to do it, even though the market was not that great. I still tried to do a little bit in Columbus. That's a story for another day. But my point to all this is you got to know your numbers. And so when the market took it, and I was making money. So when the market took a turn, I said, well, I got to make a decision here. So I got out of the real estate game, but I knew I wanted to be in business. I knew I had gotten the bug, so I wanted to be in business. So I was like, okay, I've heard people talking about this network marketing, affiliate marketing, online marketing, all this kind of crap. And I called it crap back then. Oh, I did. So I talked about it bad. But then when it was time for me to leave the Postal Service in 2008, I said, well, what am I going to do? I done came out the real estate game. At this point, I only had like 1 property, and I just got rid of that property probably about 2 years ago. Well, about 2 years, this is 2023, 2 years ago, I got rid of that property. I had that property from 85 up until 2 years ago, but I actually lived in that property. So that property made me a lot of money. That was my first piece of property I bought in 1985 at age 27. Didn't have no idea what I was doing, but I bought it anyway. My mortgage was $442 a month. I was paying less in mortgage than most people was paying renting apartment and townhomes. And I had a 3-bedroom home with a basement and an attached 1-car garage and a fenced-in yard. Yes, single. I had it going on. And I made money off that property. I lost a little money here and there, but I made money overall. And I was able to sell that property 2 years ago, and I still made a profit. Tenants came and gone. Then these last set of tenants I had in, they didn't want to buy it, so I sold it. And I made good. And I took that money and I started investing that money in the stock market. Yes. And this all happened within the last couple of years. So you got to know your numbers. So back to what I was saying about the network marketing, online marketing, affiliate marketing. Let me ask you a question. If you went on a trip right now, would you go on that trip without GPS or maps? Not on your life. No. You need to know where you're going, how you're going to get there, how much gas is it going to take you to get from point A and point B and back. You need to know that before you even take the trip. That's why I say, even though I said know your numbers in affiliate marketing and network marketing, you need to know your numbers in business. You need to know your numbers in life. Because before you take that trip, you need to know if you have enough money to buy gas to get you back and forth. And any unforeseens that may happen along the way, going and coming back. You need to know all that. Everything you do in life is a mathematical equation. If you don't think that it's a mathematical equation, you have been tricked and hoodwinked and bamboozled. Everything is a mathematical equation. Everything you do in life, you have to know the number. You got to count the cost. You got to count the cost. You got to sit down and say, okay, this is going to cost me. It's going to cost me $10,000 to buy this house. It's going to cost me $20,000 to fix it. So that's $30,000 I got in. It's worth $80,000. I got to be, even if I decide to sell it, I got to be able to at least sell it for the amount that I got in it, which is $30,000. So in order to break even, I got to at least sell it for a little more than that to get the $30,000, because I got to pay the people back the money that I got for it. It's the same thing when you go into business, and I'm going somewhere with this so you'll understand, because I've been online since 2010, and I didn't even think that people could make money online. When I made my first dollar, I was ecstatic, and I was like, really? People are actually making money on a computer? And this was before we had phones and tablets. You just had a computer, and we didn't even have. I didn't even have a laptop there. I exclusively work off of a laptop. But in the beginning, I was working off of a desktop in my office. I wasn't mobile. It cost me money for the computer, cost me money for the internet. I wasn't even thinking about all that. I think about that now. I've thought about that over the years, but in the beginning, I had no idea. I wasn't thinking about, you have to add all those numbers. You have to know what your outgoing numbers are and your incoming numbers on everything you do, literally. And you gotta decide what type of return on your investment are you getting. That's why you hear people using terms like ROI. See, they use these terms if making people think that they're smarter than them. That's just return on investment. You wouldn't have figured that out. I didn't know that at first until I read it. And that's why I'm sharing this information with you on a day-to-day basis, because I don't want you to get hoodwinked. I don't want you to get led astray. I don't want nobody to trick you. You got to know your numbers. When we bought this house that we're living in now, we had to know the numbers to know if we could afford to live here. And we've been living here for 19 years. There are expenses that are ongoing to running a house. You got to know what what your income is coming in and your outgoing is going out. And if you got more going out than you got coming in, you're upside down. And that's the same thing in your business. If you're spending more money going out than you have money coming in, you're upside down. And then now you need to do a reassessment of the business model that you've chosen, because you got more money going out than you got coming in. And if you don't know that ahead of time, then you shouldn't be going into business. You shouldn't be buying a house. You shouldn't be buying a car. If you buy a car and you don't know, you haven't counted all the expenses of what it's going to cost to maintain that vehicle, then why would you go buy that vehicle? Because Johnny across the street got one. You're going to buy a Mercedes. You may be able to afford to buy the Mercedes. True. But can you afford the upkeep and maintenance of the Mercedes in the event that something breaks down. We had a 1985 Mercedes 190, I forget, 190 something. And every time, and you can't take that particular vehicle to just any old Joe Blow mechanic. It has to go to a specialized dealer that deals in Mercedes. That costs money. Look, the oil change on my wife's 2011 Q7 is $100 for oil change. Oil change. So you got to know these things before you go out here and buy these things and get in stuff. So people don't know their numbers. And this is why people get upside down in their finances, because they don't know the number. They buy on emotion instead of buying on logic. And the reason I know that is because I was that person until I got smart with money. When I started to get smart with money, now I sit down and I say, oh, okay, do I need that? Or do I want that? Have I counted the cost? Do I know the return on the investment when I'm doing this? And if you don't know the return on the investment when you're doing it, then you just gonna go out and just do anything. You're gonna do whatever you want. Excuse me. You're gonna do whatever you want. And that won't be a good thing. And you'll be sitting up here thinking, man, what just happened? Why did that happen? Hold on one second. You'll be trying to figure out what in the world just happened. So when you're out here online and these little shiny objects look good, see what happens is these companies that got these products and services, all they do is tell you how much it's going to cost to get it. It's up to you to find out what the compensation plan is and what you're going to get paid per person. If you don't know the numbers on what you're going to get paid per person, yeah, and you got to know that. You're going to end up spending a whole bunch of money and not making any money. And then you're going to try to figure out and say, well, what's going on? It must be the company. No, it's not the company. And in some cases, it may be the company. But in a lot of cases, it's just you not understanding what the numbers are. When you understand the numbers, you approach life from a different perspective. When you don't understand the numbers, you just go and do whatever. You just go do whatever you want. You have no idea. You be like, I don't know what's going on. And so what happens is you start thinking, man, this stuff don't work. This online business don't work. It's a waste of my time getting in buying a home. I done bought this home and I don't even know what to do. Or I done bought this car and I can't afford to get it fixed. I can't afford to put gas in it. Yeah. When it breaks down, I can't afford to get it fixed. A tire might cost me $200 per tire. Now what? Now what you gonna do? Now you're sitting up there looking like, oh my God. That's why you have to know your numbers. Your numbers are so important. If you're getting any value from this, type me a 1 in the comment box. If you're not getting any value, just let me know that. If this is making sense to you, just tell me this makes sense. This makes sense. I need to know my numbers. We all need to know our numbers, whether you think you need to know your numbers or not. Everything in life is a mathematical equation. I don't care what you do. You go on vacation and you got 2 kids and a wife and you go on vacation. If you haven't counted the cost, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to be enjoying that vacation, or you're going to come back and you're going to have more. Your bills were already past due or in that direction. Now all of a sudden you don't went on vacation spending money you don't even have. And you trying to figure out in your life, what in the world did I just do? What did I just do? I want to have a good time, but you got to count the cost. Sometimes you may not be able to go on that vacation. You might need to stay home. You need to get your life in order before you do that. You may not need to buy that car right now. You might have to keep taking the bus for a minute. You might not be able to afford that home. You might have to live in an apartment for a minute. You might not be able to get into that business because you don't understand how to do everything that you need to do first and foremost. So before you start doing that, you be like, oh my God, man, I better count this. I better count the cost on this. And I ain't gonna get real biblical and spiritual on you, but there is a scripture that says, and Habakkuk says it, write the vision on tablets, and those who read it will run with it. Just write the vision. You got to have a vision for yourself. You got to have a vision for your money, because if you don't have a vision for your money, guess what's going to happen? Somebody else going to have a vision for your money. And they're going to take that money, and they ain't going to have no problem taking your money. None. The car dealership ain't going to tell you, well, we don't, because here's what the car dealership says. They don't care if you can afford it or not. You know what they do? The first thing they ask you when you walk up in there, how much can you afford to pay? And you tell them, because you don't understand money. Oh, I can do 400. Guess what? They got you in that car for $400 a month for 60 months. And you're like, oh, you think you got it going, because you say, I can afford $400. But you're in a 5-year deal because your credit might be jacked up. Everything you do in life is a mathematical equation. I keep saying that because people don't understand what's going on in this world. This is the reason why the world is upside down with a lot of people, because they don't understand money. They don't understand the return on the investment. They just get in stuff on emotion. They just run up in there on emotion. They just buying it. You know how I know that? Because I was that person. See, I'm talking to you from straight experience. When I first got in my first network marketing company, I had no idea what I was doing. I just listened to my mentor say, look, I just need you to just have ignorance on fire. Just keep talking to all these different people. Just sign them up, sign them up, sign them up. We'll figure out what you're getting paid later. That's what I got told. Until I start getting smarter, saying, hey, I really like this method. So let me learn about what's called the compensation plan. And a compensation plan is no different than when you go on a job and they tell you what you're going to get paid every pay period, whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever. It's the same thing. You got to know what you're getting paid. So in an online business, you need to know what you're getting paid. What would be the sense of signing up people and you don't even know what you're getting paid? You have no idea what you're getting paid. You don't know what to do in order to even get paid. Now, that's another video for another day. But I'm going to tell you right now, type of 1, if you're getting any value from this, and type of 2, if you've never heard this information before, especially everything in life is a mathematical equation. You can't get around it. If you can get around it, let me know that. Let me know how you can get around the fact that everything in life is a mathematical equation. Everything. One of my real good mentors, he's still my mentor to this day. When he told me about this thing here, understanding your numbers, life changed for me. It was like Mr. Miyagi. I had an aha moment. I'm like, okay, I thought I needed that. But no, I thought I wanted that, but do I need that? No. So you sit back and make an adjustment. I know it seems like I'm talking about a lot of different things, and it might be going a little bit too fast for you, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you not understanding what's going on, you can set up a consultation with me, and we can talk about it. But here's what I'll tell you. I ain't about to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time, but I can help you. I can help you because somebody helped me. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of people out here in this world who don't have a clue what they're doing when they sign up in these businesses and in life. You know how I know that? Because they got this thing they throw around, and they've been throwing it around for 15 years. There's a 95% failure rate in network marketing and affiliate marketing. I'm like, 95%? You mean to tell me 95 out of 100, 95% of the people fail? Why is it that 95% of the people failing? You know why? Because they don't understand that it's a mathematical equation, and they just get in it just to be getting in it because they friend told them about it. The other friend told them about it. Now they're all in it. Now they're walking around like, well, I've been in this company for 6 months. I've been in this company for a year. I ain't made a dime. Wow. Because they don't understand the numbers. Guess what? I was that person. See, I don't have a problem being transparent because I know transparency will help you. I was that person that used to go on vacations all the time, knowing that I probably couldn't afford to go on the vacation, but I went anyway because I figured I was young. I could be working all the time. I'd be making overtime money, but I had bills stacked up like this. I was the person that had to buy a brand new car every time, every year, or every 2 years when it came off the showroom floor. Yes, I sure was. Couldn't afford it, but I got it anyway because I had a good job. But I didn't know the numbers. Now years later, learning the numbers, dude, I don't make a move unless I sit down and count all them costs. If it ain't making sense and adding up, we ain't buying it. We ain't participating in it. We're not going on the trip. It's just that simple. And I've been out here on my own for 15 years. This is how I know this stuff works. But if you don't pay attention to what somebody's trying to tell you, especially when somebody got your sincere heart, I got your best interest at heart, because I know what it's like to be out here suffering and lied to. And people telling you, just sign them up. Just sign up. Just throw a whole lot of mud at the deal. Don't worry about the return on the investment. Don't worry about nothing. Just keep buying that kit. Every month, stay on that auto ship. You might not know what auto ship is. That means something that you get automatically every month. Now, that's if you're in a network marketing company. If you're in an affiliate program, you're selling somebody else's product, which is great. They doing all the fulfillment and they doing everything. You might not know what fulfillment is. I'll talk about that in a later video too. The basic thing I wanted you to get is understanding your numbers, understanding how important it is for you to know before you jump off into this water. If you ain't never swim before and you jump into 12 feet of water, the chances of you drowning are very, 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 very high. You ain't never swum before, but you jump into 12 feet of water. That's the same thing when you come out here and go working online or going to buy a car or buying a home and you don't count the cost. I'm saying it, I'm gonna say it again. Everything is a mathematical equation. And it ain't real hard math. It's real simple math. You don't got to be a math genius to figure it out. You don't have to be a math genius. You just have to be aware of it. So I've had a lot of fun out here sharing this information with you. I'm trying to decide what's a good time to go live. And I've found out from talking to various people, and I should know this myself, that I guess it really doesn't matter. You just go live whenever you feel like it. But I'm going to constantly keep coming out here Monday through Friday, giving you some information that I'm sure can help you because it helped me. See, everything that I'm sharing with you is something that I actually participated in. See, I ain't going to be like these so-called gurus out here that's hiding behind the Iron Curtain and you don't see them. They won't even talk to you because they just want you to keep feeding them money. Like, feed me, Seymour. Just keep feeding me money. Just keep feeding. I'll get around to you. Now, I'm not saying I got time to get to everybody, but those who are serious that want to change their life, I got you. But if you ain't serious about changing your life and you just want to stay over there and you okay with that, I'm okay with that too. But when you get serious and you raise your hand and you say, "Hey, I'm ready to make a change in my life," then that's what happens. Then somebody steps up to help, because somebody stepped up to help me. But I was ready. I raised my hand. I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm tired of this foolishness. I'm tired of this foolishness. I was able to fulfill one of my childhood dreams just 2 days ago. Being able to buy 6 tickets to go to every Ohio State football game because I've been paying attention to the money. And I didn't have to interfere with none of my money that took care of my household. That's just a little side note. But that was a childhood dream of mine to be able to do that. I grew up watching that team the whole time I was living here in Columbus, and I've been wanting to go to the home games. And not only am I going to all of the home games, I have very good seats. that costs me a nice penny, but it's not affecting anything that I'm doing. Life is still going on. Bills are still getting paid. I am still running the business from the comfort of my home right here at my kitchen table. Yes, I'm not bragging to you. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you that if I told you the backstory, you'd be like, whoa, what in the world? I don't have enough time in this video. And I don't want to, I'm going to talk about that on the backstory that led up to this. It's going to be in another video. Yeah, because I wasn't always this way. Yes, I had to put my head down. I had to go to work. And that's what you might have. See, you might have to do that. Obedience is way better than sacrifice. And my mentor told me, look, Greg, I can assure you that if you do this, you'll get out of debt. And you'll live a life that most people wish they could live. And that's where I'm at right now. And I am so grateful and so humble and thankful for the opportunity for me to listen and to learn. So I could be out here sharing this information with every one of y'all, so y'all could say, man, I sure wish somebody would have taught me that. Well, that's what I was saying too. That's what I was saying too. And mentors, and here's what I'm saying. Mentors aren't no joke. If you're not willing to learn, ain't no sense in calling on nobody to be your mentor. If you ain't willing to take the constructive criticism and them being in your face, I wouldn't suggest getting a mentor until you're ready. You got to have thick skin like a rhino. I learned that from one of my book mentors. Actually, did I get to meet him in real life? Jerry Clark. I got to meet Jerry Clark about 4 or 5 years ago. Powerful man. Powerful. He said, you got to have the skin of a rhino. Rhino got thick skin. That's how you got to be. So when somebody in your face telling you some stuff that you might not like, you either going to do it or you just, going over in the corner and stay like you was. See, I was sick and tired of being how I was, so I needed to make a change. And I knew the only way that I could make a change is I had to get within myself to make that change. I couldn't keep on saying, man, I got dealt a bad hand. No, I didn't get dealt a bad hand. I dealt myself that bad hand. And the only way I was going to get out of that is I had to do something about it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know my numbers. If somebody signs up with me in my affiliate program, I know exactly what I'm going to get paid. I know how much money I'm going to make. I know if I want to make X amount of dollars from that affiliate program, I know exactly how many people I need. Yes, to the penny. I couldn't have told you that a few years ago. No way could I have told you that. But as a result of me learning and allowing myself to be transparent, now I ain't ignorance on fire no more. Ignorance on fire went away a long time ago. No, I'm good. I know exactly when a person come in, I know exactly when I see it, I know exactly what I'm gonna make. I know how many people I need in order to make this. So I get to write my own check. If I want to make $500 a month, I know how many people I need to make $500. If I want to make $1,000 a month, I know how many people I need to make $1,000 a month. I get to write my own check. You can do that too. Yeah. Your company that you work for knows how to write the check based off you. They know exactly how much they're going to make based off the employees that they got. The Postal Service knew exactly what they were making off of all of us on the money they was paying us. And your employer knows that too. So why wouldn't you know that if you went in business? I had to know that when I was buying and flipping properties. Then I was definitely an amateur. Yes. But when I learned how to do this online stuff, man, listen, I'm this close to being a professional. I'm this close. I'm still learning. I still got a lot more to go. I'm still learning because there's a whole lot of technical stuff I don't know. But here's what I will tell you: based off this video right here, I know the return on my investment. I know if I want to make X amount of dollars, how many people I need. I know how much money I'm making per person. And most people don't know that in their business. I guarantee they don't know it. I can bet money that they don't know. You can go out and ask them how much money they paying you per person when they come into your company. How many people you need to make this amount of money? They don't know that. You know why they don't know that? There's a lot of reasons why they don't know. But one of them is because they ain't taking the time out to learn their comp plan. Another one is because they ain't taking the time out to learn their comp plan. Simple. Most people don't even look at the comp plan. They just sign up. They don't have it costs $30 to get in, no problem. It costs $100 to get in, no problem. They said, I'm gonna make this amount of money. Who's they? Who is they? Yeah, you got car notes to make, house payments to make. Now, if you're just getting into it just to be playing around and having fun, okay, then you don't need to know nothing. You just get in and have fun. There are people who sign up in businesses just to have fun. I don't want to be that person. So, hey, if you want to learn more about what I do and how I do it, listen. In the comments, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna have a link where you can go in there, and it's gonna be real simple, real easy. Actually, I got some free stuff for you, and it's free for real. Now there is paid stuff in there, but there's free. There's definitely some free stuff because there may be some people on here watching this that can't afford to pay no money. Because I was that guy. The first 3-4 years in this business, my mentor asked me, do I have a budget? I said, dude, I don't even know what a budget is. You know what next thing came in his mouth? Oh, you got to do free. And I did free for like 3 years. Yes. And I made money doing free. It was tough, but I did it anyway because this is what I wanted to do. Now I do both. I do free and paid. See, I ain't gonna never tell you no lie. I'm gonna always be transparent. I ain't got time to trick you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna send you, if you choose to go over there, like Mission Impossible, this is your mission if you choose to accept it. If you choose it, you're gonna click the link. It's gonna take you to a spot on there. When you get over there, you're gonna have a lot of choices. But I want you to pick the one that says the free online train. It's free. You're gonna put your information in, you're gonna get some free stuff. Then they got some on there. They got links. I got links on there where you can pay too. Then I got a link on the top where you can get a 15-minute consultation with me. But you're going to have to answer some questions. And if you answer the questions correctly, then you'll get 15 minutes with me. If you don't, okay. Because my time is very valuable, as yours should be. And I could teach you that because my mentor taught me that. Don't let nobody waste your time. Don't let nobody waste your time. And in closing on this, I'm in this 90-day challenge right now, and I really hope y'all can join me on this one, man. I set some goals that's out of sight, and I'm knocking them out the park right now. And I'm being very, very transparent. I got 3 goals. And these 3 goals, the challenge already started. It'll be over November the 8th. Okay, one of my goals is to release 20 pounds. I don't want to lose it because I learned this from one of my friends named Greg Walker. He said, you don't want to lose something because if you lose the weight, you got to go back and look for what you found. What you lost. He said that to me, and I said, that make kind of sense. That makes sense. So he says, you want to release it. I want to release it, never for it to come back. So I'm still working on the weight. The weight's a little tricky, but I'm struggling, but I'm gonna get there. I'm getting there. I'm juicing, I'm walking, I'm gonna get to that part too. So my second goal is to read 10 books because I struggled in that area. I love to read, but I would just read a little bit. So right now I'm on pace. I'm about to complete. By Tuesday, I would have completed 2 books. 2. That's a monument thing for me. My goal is to to do 10 of them by November. I'm going to exceed that. My third goal is to walk 6 miles. I done figured out the math on walking 6 miles. I've done it 3 times so far. It's 12,000 steps. So in the morning when I got my morning motivational walk that I do, you probably don't know about that, but you can check me out. I I walk every morning at 6:30, and I call it the morning motivational walk with Greg Said. Man, I just give you plenty of nuggets for about 10 to 15 minutes. But here's the deal. I walk at least 6,000 to 7,000 steps every morning. So then I just said, let me jump it up and go out in the afternoon, and I'm gonna drop another. So that's how I've done it. And I'm like, okay. So when I did the math on it, I said, okay, I do 12,000 steps. That equates to almost 6,000 calories. I'm like, whoa, okay. Remember I said earlier, unless you came in late, everything in life is a mathematical equation. When you know the numbers, then it makes sense. If you don't know the numbers, it won't make sense. I know that in order for me to consistently walk 6 miles, that's 12,000 steps. Okay, how long does it take me to walk 6,000 steps? 40 minutes. So if I wanted to walk 12,000 steps at one swoop, that's 80 minutes. It's under an hour and a half. Hour and a half is 90 minutes. Still time. That's numbers, ain't it? Everything in life is a mathematical equation. When you start looking at it from that perspective, then you don't lose. You lose when you don't understand the numbers. Man, I got a math genius that's my mentor. Man, this dude been showed me so much stuff. It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. And I ain't gonna share him with y'all yet. I'll share him with y'all later because he got a lot of stuff on his plate. So he ain't got time to talk to y'all right now. And it's gonna cost you money to talk. No, it ain't. I'm just playing. It ain't gonna cost you no money to talk to him. Might be a little bit of money to talk to him, but I don't know. Here's the deal. When you go to Greg, and listen, when you go to gregsaid.com, I want you to click on, there's two on there. I want you to click on to get the free stuff. And then I want you to join me on the challenge, which you'll see on that link, on that tab that says the perfect challenge. That's actually free too, because it's going to send you over to a group, a Facebook group that we all have, and we just love on each other. We encourage and inspire each other on our journey of this 90-day challenge. Yeah. So those are free. Yeah. It's actually free to talk to me for 15 minutes. So there's 3 things on there that's free. But you're going to get a whole lot of value out of that free. Trust me. Trust and believe me, you're going to get a whole lot of value out of that 3. But hey, it's up to you. You choose to do what you want to do. If you like where you currently are, stay where you are. If you want to change, make a change. Be the change that you want to be. So with that said, I love each and every one of you. Matter of fact, I could find that link right now. And you can see that I could share that link right now. Let me share that link. I'm gonna be talking about, you can go get it. Let me there it is. Here it is. Bingo. Go to gregsaid.com. And when you see that, you're gonna see the tab on the top that says work with me. That's, you can get a 15, you answer some questions and you get 15 minutes and we can chop it up for 15 minutes. Then there's another one down below that talks about how you can get the free online stuff. Then there's one right below that one that says the perfect challenge. And then you can join me on the 90-day challenge. I'm enjoying myself out on this challenge because your health is your wealth. Because what good would it do for you to make $100,000, $1 million, and have raggedy health? So then you're going to spend most of your money trying to get well. When you can spend your time, how much money is it going to cost you to get up and walk? Now, if you can't walk for some physical reason, I can understand that. But if there's nothing wrong with you physically, you can get out and walk. You can get out and walk, and you don't got to start. You can start off like I did. I start off at a half a mile, and I work my way. I work my way up to this. Yeah, then you can do the same thing. So I want to say thank you for coming out. Let me see if we got any comments over here. Let me see. June's a 1. Rita's a hey. Okay. Well, I want to thank these wonderful, lovely people for coming out and participating with me on here. June Collier. I don't know how much I can say about June. I'll just say he's a very good, dear friend. That's all I'll say. He's a very good, dear friend. Taught me a lot of stuff. Rita Fletcher is my sister in love. Love her to pieces. So, hey, Those are the two people that left me comments. Hey, I appreciate those two comments. I never despise the small beginnings. It's 2 today, it could be 10,000 tomorrow. So I want to say thank each and every one of you. God bless and God keep you. And I'll see you. Have a great weekend, by the way. And I'll see you on Monday.